Hi guys, welcome to another tutorial, and in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make these puff stitches and picots. You can do this stitch using any size yarn and whatever hook size that yarn recommends. I'm using worsted weight yarn, which is 4 ply for the US, 10 ply for Australia, and a 5mm hook or a size H hook. The multiples of this stitch is 8 plus 5, and what that means is that you're going to chain in sets of 8, 8, 8, 8 until you reach the desired width. Then you'll chain 5 more and you're ready to start row 1. Okay, I got my multiples of 8. I have the width that I want, so I'm going to go ahead and chain another 5, 3, 4, and 5. And now I'm ready to start row 1. For row 1, you want to work a puff stitch in the 9th chain from the hook. So count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So in this 9th chain, go ahead and yarn over, insert your hook into that 9th chain, pull up a loop, then yarn over, go into that same chain, pull up a loop, do that one more time, yarn over, go into that same chain, pull up a loop. You have 2, 4, 6, 7 loops on your hook. You'll yarn over, pull through all 7 loops. This is not the easiest yarn to do this with. Okay. Once you've done that, go ahead and chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then right into this stitch that was created, when you pull through all your loops, you're going to go ahead and slip stitch into that stitch. Then you'll chain 3, and you'll repeat your puff stitch again in the same stitch. So yarn over, go into that same stitch, pull up a loop. Then yarn over, go into that same stitch, pull up a loop. And then one more time. Then you'll pull through all 7 loops. You'll chain 4 again. And then again you'll slip stitch it in that stitch that was created when you pulled through all your loops. And that's your first puff stitch and picots. Picot? Picot probably. So after your puff stitch and picot, you want to chain 1, and then you'll skip 3. 1, 2, 3, and then this 4th chain, you want to do a double crochet. Then you'll chain 1 again. You'll skip 3 again. 1, 2, 3, and then this 4th, you want to work another set of your puff stitch and picots there. So in that 4th chain away from the double crochet, I'm going to start my next puff stitch. And you're yarning over and going into the same stitch 3 times. 7 loops on your hook, pull through all 7 loops. Then you'll chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Go into that stitch created when you pull through all your loops. So you'll just slip stitch that in there, chain 3, then you do your next puff stitch worked right into the same stitch. So yarn over and insert your hook, pull up a loop. You'll do that 3 times. 7 loops on your hook, pull through all 7 loops, chain 4, and again slip stitch into that little stitch, into your puff stitch. And then you'll chain 1. You're going to count over 3. 1, 2, 3, and then this 4th chain, you'll do a double crochet. Just like you did here. Then you'll do a chain 1 again, skip 3, 1, 2, 3, and then this 4th, again you're going to do your puff stitch. And you'll continue this down your row. And when you get to the end of your row, I'll show you how to end your row. Okay, when you get done with your last puff stitch and picot, then you'll chain 1. You're going to skip the next 3 stitches, and in the 4th stitch, you'll put a double crochet. And that will end row 1. Okay, and the repeat will be row 2, which is what we're about to do. So for row 2, and from now on, you'll always begin by chaining 4 and turning. Now you want to work your your puffs and picot now in the chain 3s that you have in between your puffs. So you're going to come right over into the first one. So yarn over, go into that chain 3, pull up a loop. Then you'll yarn over and pull up a loop 2 more times. You're doing your first puff stitch. 7 loops on your hook, pull through all 7 loops. I really need to toss out this yarn. And then you'll chain 4 and slip stitch in that same stitch. Then remember chain 3, because this is a little bit. Remember to chain 3 because this is where we're going to be putting our puff stitches next time. And then work your next puff stitch in that chain 3 space again. Pull through all 7 loops, chain 4, slip stitch into that puff stitch, and then you'll chain 1 and you'll work your double crochet into the double crochet. Then chain 1 and you're now set to work again in your puff stitch. So you'll continue to do that exactly the same all the way down to the end, and then I'll show you how to end your row. Okay, once you finished your puff stitch and picots there at the end, you'll chain 1 like you always do, and from now on this long chain here that we have here will obviously be a chain 4 from now on, but you're gonna still, for this row, put it in the same spot that you will from now on. So what you'll do is you'll do it in the second chain away from your stitch here, so you can count 1 chain, 2 chains. In this second chain here, you're going to put a double crochet. So it'll be the same for every row. Whenever you have your chain 4, again you'll count 1, 2, put it in the double crochet in that last stitch. And then you'll just keep repeating row 2. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please don't forget to like and share this video. It helps me out so much. Also, if you're a first-time watcher, you haven't got a chance to subscribe, be sure to check out my main Facebook page because I have lots of playlists for lacy stitches, warm stitches, things like that, so it'll be easier for you to find what stitch you're looking for. Also, if you click the little bell button next to the subscribe button, you'll always be notified whenever I release a new tutorial. Also, if you're wondering what hook I'm using a wooden furls hook. You can find the link down below the video, and I recommend that you order it with an extended handle. If not, you're going to get half the size. I also have a Facebook page called Crochet for the Masses where you can share free pattern links and pictures of projects that you're working on. We really love to see those, and ask any questions that you may have. There's lots of people there that can, at least one of them will be able to answer your question, I'm sure. So that's it, guys. Thank you so very much for watching.